Welcome to the off-season video of Season 4 of the Minnesota State Mavericks Dynasty. And today we're going to go over everything as far as season statistics, possible coaching changes. We're not changing coaches per se, but we're going to be like, we're basically just going to see if we're going to lose any coordinators. See who's going to try and go to the NFL. I highly doubt anybody's going to go to the NFL, but we'll see. We came off of a huge win against North Carolina State in the Sugar Bowl. So that kind of gives us some confidence going into next season. We're going to change conferences. A lot of you guys have been screaming Big Ten, Big Ten, Big Ten. That win can kind of solidify your argument, but going from the MAC to the Big Ten is kind of a huge jump. I don't want to make too many drastic jumps. So we're going to go move to the Mountain West. They do have solid competition over there. San Diego State's a really good team. Air Force is really solid. Boise State's always been pretty good as well. So there's a lot of good competition out in the Mountain West. It's a step above the MAC, obviously. So while I do appreciate my time in the MAC and I wish I could continue the dominance, we are going to move to the Mountain West. So with that being said, let's look at the statistics here on this season. Brett Brown led the entire NCAA in passing yards. That is nuts. The entire NCAA. That's incredible to me. Manny Freeman did have 1,000 yards on the year. That's actually really good for a 14-game season. So I'm happy with that. That's a nice accomplishable. I think he only played 12 of those games, or 9 of those games. So he was averaging over 100 yards a game. He was really solid. Henry Dillon was 11th in receiving yards. That is a good mark to be at for a tight end. Tackle leaders, we have 3 of them. We have Gilbert, Hicks, and Hayden, all up there in the top 5. Andrew Gilbert was the cake taker on that one. Sack leaders, Jeff Cox, again leading the NCAA in sacks at 12. Really good mark to be at. I don't know if he's a senior or not, but if he's coming back for next year, watch out. Vincent Bolden was technically 5th on the list and tied for 5th in interceptions. So that's really good for him as well. He had a really solid year. And kicking leaders, I think Marcus Schroeder kicked his career long this year. So he was up to 53 yards. It's now 11th for the longest field goal. So that's really good for him as well. Brett Brown, 3,900 yards. He almost had 4,000 passing yards. That's unheard of in college. Almost unheard of. It seems like it's almost a formality for a top-tier quarterback in college these days. But he could be upwards in the 90s overall next year. That's insane. So let's take a look at the running statistics. Just for the amount of games that he played, Manny Freeman only had 3 fumbles, 3 broken tackles. But he did provide a huge spark in the running game. He averaged 80 yards a game. That's crazy. Brett Brown had 886 yards rushing. Manny Freeman had an 88-yard touchdown in the season too. Carroll Dickerson, he got going as the season was. He had a very slow start. I feel like with his reduced role, he may actually be a good running back in spot situations. Scooter, he has 1 more year left. He's gonna be missed, man. He's the big guy down inside, man. He's got to get the job done. I think he can do that. And Arnold Thompson had a couple, and just a couple of other notables, I guess. But Manny Freeman looks like he's gonna be the running back of the future. Receiving totals: Henry Dillon, 85 catches for 1,100 yards, 6 touchdowns, solid year. Garrison Burnett, 73 catches, 777 yards, 20 touchdowns. A lot of them were just a lot of 1-yard touchdowns, but they still count the same. Jacob Jackson, 662 catches for 932 yards, 11 touchdowns. As now we go to Arnold Thompson, 31 catches, 595 yards, 10 touchdowns. Joe Cooper, he had a few good catches as well during the season. 15 catches for 218 yards, 2 touchdowns. Manny Freeman had 171 receiving yards. Scooter Bravo had a touchdown. Carroll Dickerson and Dennis Schroeder all had touchdowns, although not that big of contributions from some of the lower guys who maybe have had 1 or 2 catches. But Anthony Carlton was the only receiver that caught a pass and did not score a touchdown. And it's kind of, I was kind of hoping I could get him in the game, at least, or by default. But it's okay. It's not like he's going to be playing anyway. That's his last game as a Maverick. We gave up a total of 4, 7, 9, 11, 13, 14, 15, 16 sacks this year. The offensive line gave up 16 sacks. As far as totals on the year, we gave up 24 sacks, which is, I think, down from last year's 27. So that's good. Defensively, we already know Andrew Gilbert's the the NCAA leader in tackles. 84 solo tackles, but he had 86 altogether. Assisted tackles was led by Robbie Hayden. Tackles for loss, that was led by Jackson Locke, but we had a bunch of guys in double digits. That's insane. Devin Hicks at 16, Harris at 15, Gilbert had 15, Cox and Hayden had 13, Roderick Riley had 12, and Anderson had 11. Sack leaders, obviously we know Jeff Cox is up there, Harris is up there as well. Roderick Riley, he's going to be back for next year too. He's going to be up in the 80s in the overall, so that's going to be scary. Jackson Lockwood, he's going to be good next year too. Gilbert's going to be gone. Hayden's going to come back. That's going to be sick. That is going to be sick. He's going to be a monster next year. So will Barclay. He'll be good. Jackson Lewis will be back next year. He's going to rock the boat next year too. Man, just looking at this defense, man, it's gonna get better. And Jeff Cox will not be playing next year, unfortunately, but somebody will take his place, and they will dominate. Also, we have Marcus Schroeder, 16 for 17 on field goals, 53 yards was his now career long, and Ryan Lopez averages about 37 yards a punt, which is obviously really good. And so, we didn't get a kickoff return for a touchdown like we always do this year, but it happens every now and then. We do go a year without getting a kickoff return for a touchdown, but Carroll could take that reign next year as the kickoff return man. He could provide a huge spark on the kick return game. So we'll see how that goes, man. We'll see how that goes. We're going to look here at the bowl games, the bowl results. As we're going to look at the top ones that we are taking notable of. Alabama lost to Virginia. That's not really all that surprising. Minnesota dominated Mississippi State. Iowa beat Georgia, which is kind of surprising. I think Iowa State lost to Washington. Yeah, they did. 34-17 in the Holiday Bowl. Florida destroyed Nebraska. 55-24. Michigan State over USC in the Rose Bowl. Not a surprise. Cincinnati over Oklahoma State. That's, again, not a surprise. We won our game against theirs. Against NC State. Clemson and TCU got into quite a bout here. 31-24. Kentucky losing to Oklahoma 31-21. And then the national championship game, LSU is the national champions at 28-21. So now LSU has a national championship on their resume. With that being said, let's get on to the end of the season. Man, just a really good year this year. We had a really, man, it was just such a good year for us, man. We had a lot of good moments. We lost one game, but it was to a good team. It was to a quality opponent. We only lost in the last play too, so I'm not even upset by that at all. You did it, coach. You were so impressive. Blah blah blah. So sign contract. Yep. We're 4-8 against the top 25. 4-8. I mean, then again, our record against the top 25, we were really bad to begin the dynasty, but we've gotten better against quality opponents. So, anyway, let's go on to the next stage. We already know what's going to be going. Players leaving. We've made a few position changes. Nothing on the quarterback side. Running back side stayed clean too. nothing on fullbacks, but we did move one of our junior college guys, James Lewis, over to wide receiver. He has a better overall sense at wide receiver as far as, you know, his abilities. His catching's not that great, but it's one of the best on the team. Jacob Jackson has a 94 catch rating. That is dangerous, man. He has hands. Everybody else is in like the 60s. There's a big gap between how good Jackson is versus everybody else. Possession receivers matter, dude. No tight end position changes, although I'm really happy with our tight ends regardless. Not fast guys, but they're still good. Offensive linemen, we had to move a couple of them around just so we could get the best ones out there and get them playing time over, like, you know, your unexperienced freshmen. We moved some linebackers over as well. Gary Gilmore is going to be playing left outside linebacker. Barclay is going to be playing middle linebacker. And Locke was going to be playing right outside linebacker. And then our corners should be good. Bowser and Bailey will get some training experience. That'll help them out immensely, I think. Jackson Lewis and Jeremy Ross are going to be monsters in the backfield this year. They're going to be, or the secondary this year. It's going to be nuts. As they're both juniors too, so that makes it even crazier. Robert Gilmore is still pretty good underneath Robbie Hayden, so we'll be good with there too. Marcus Schroeder's still pretty good, and no athletes this time around either, so we're set. So we're gonna keep those changes here, and we're gonna go on to the next stage, which is going to be position change or training results. So we're all good with that handy dandy change. And let's take a look at the training results and see what we got. Marcus Schroeder up to an 86 overall. Brett Brown heading into his senior season as an 88 overall, which I think is kind of doing him a huge disservice, considering how excellent he's been in his career. 80 throw power, 84 accuracy. Aiden Cooper could be coming along too as the next big thing. He's up to a 72 overall. Tony Freeman up to a 66. Blair Cody up to a 63. You know, those two guys still have time to develop and make something of themselves. We're not too worried about that. Running backs. Wozliak's up to an 80, but I still feel better with Manny Freeman at the helmet running back. We may see some 3 running back action. I'm not 100% sure, but I feel comfortable with Manny simply because he's more of the running back that I want and what I need. Scooter's up to a 67. This is his final year. Joel Davis, he'll be a good fullback when he comes up for the final year. Jacob Jackson up to an 83 overall. Solid receiver, just super solid for his final season. Alex Sanders a 69 overall. Jaden Griffin 68 overall. Kelvin Wiggins 64 overall. David Williamson a 57 overall, which, you know, outside of Jacob Jackson, I'm probably gonna be throwing to him a lot this year, and we'll see. It's gonna be really weird in the receiving core this year. Henry Dillon up to a 74 for his junior year. Joe Cooper up to a 67, and Dennis Schroeder up to a 65 as well. Offensive lineman, we're looking better than before, especially in the guard position and center as well. 67 overall for our offensive lineman up front. We have a lot of good skill positions, but nothing like up front, which is kind of disheartening, but I think we'll be okay. Roderick Riley up to an 82 overall. That's great. That's insane to me. Gary Gilmore up to a 70. He's going to be good at left outside linebacker this year. Barclay up to a 69. Nice. Jackson Lockwood up to a 77. He's going to be scary this year too. And for his senior season, he's going to be good as well. Vincent Bolden up to a 75. Pete Bowser up to a 68. Donald Bailey up to a 65. Kenneth Nelson up to a 64. And Tim Stover up to a 62. All improving on their speed and agility and their awareness as well. So a good Vincent Bolden's going to have a solid year this year. Jackson Lewis and Jeremy Ross are going to be monsters this year as well. That's going to be nuts. Robbie Hayden up to a 82 overall on defense. And Marcus Schroeder up to a 97 overall. That is our highest rated player so far. Kicking power up to a 97. And accuracy is a 99 for his final season in a Maverick uniform. And Ryan Lopez up to a 79. So I'm happy with this squad. We have only one 80 overall player, but that's going to change with Brett Brown. He's gonna be up there again this year, I feel like. So, well, it's gonna be weird with different competition this year. It's gonna be a little bit different. So we gotta be ready for that. On to the next stage, which is to cut players, and that's gonna be the worst part. Here we go. All right, worst part coming up. We're cutting players. How many we cutting? 10. Okay, that's about what I expected, actually. Let's start by cutting the worst player out of the bunch, and that would be our freshman offensive line. Okay, that's gonna be tough. I can't just cut a freshman. I kind of like to see what Blair Cody and Tony Freeman can do. Our depth at quarterback is actually important. Running back, still important. Wide receiver. We're kind of thin and just, when I wouldn't say we're thin, we're balanced in just about everything we need. Yeah, we gotta let go. I can't let this guy stay. He's only at 50 overall. He's not gonna get much playing time. I don't want to do that, but I feel like I have to. So now we're down to 9. Yeah, with Perrell up in front, he's not going to get playing time. So this is down to 8. Is there any position that we're just overstacked in? Defensive tackle. We're young in that group, and we got a bunch of young players that are really talented. Joshua Watson's gonna be special. Nick Vincent, I feel like he's got to go. Yeah, Irby's only at 57. I kind of was hoping he would improve a little bit more. He doesn't have a whole lot of speed on him either, which is kind of disheartening. Too thin on that side here. I can't cut anybody in middle linebacker. Travis Moore, I think I can cut him as well. Can't cut anybody there. Kyle Carr, he's got to go. With Billy Murray's already that much better than him anyway. I mean, yes, we're gonna have to recruit some. We have too much depth at free safety as it is. Our free safeties are spectacular. Andrew Pace, I feel like, and Marvin Moore too. Those two can battle it out for, who's gonna take over in that regard. Who's gonna progress faster? That's the real question I have. Both of them can at least play. So I still got to cut 4 more players. Tony Freeman, Blair Cody. Gonna be a tough one. I feel like I have to cut one of them. Well, I have to think about cutting Blair Cody if I'm being really honest here. What's his throw power? Oh yeah, he doesn't have an arm. He's got noodles. He's got noodle arm. He's got to go. Aiden Cooper's got a noodle arm too, man. I can always get another defensive tackle. He's just not that good. Oh, strength-wise? Oh, man. See, this guy's more of a... He's a speed safety versus this guy's just a hard hitter. Coverage versus hard hitter. I don't know. It's so hard. David Williamson doesn't impress me all that much. His awareness is a 33. Like, that's a yikes. That's a yikes, dude. There. Yeah, that's always a tough decision. Always. I know it doesn't sound like the right decision at the time, but I know what I'm getting myself into when I do stuff like that. So it's always tough. It's always tough. There's a reasoning behind them too. If there's two freshmen sitting right next to each other back to back on a depth chart, and one of them is vastly better than the other, I'm sorry, they gotta go. They're just not gonna get playing time, and I just don't want to waste their time like that. Custom conferences. This is something that you guys have been waiting for. So, with that being said, we are moving to the Mountain West in the Mountain Conference. We are going to move Ohio, or UMass, over to the Independence. And we got to find another team here to kind of complement it. So we have, in our conference, we have Air Force, our side of the conference, we have Air Force, Boise State, Colorado State, New Mexico, Utah State, and Wyoming. On the other side, we have Fresno, Hawaii, San Diego State, Nevada, San Jose State, and UNLV. So we're going to try and balance this out a little bit here. Is there anybody in the Sun Belt we can kind of try and take? Not really. They're kind of like all Southeastern teams. That's okay, though. We don't want to take anybody from the Pac-12. I don't want to take UMass and put them in the Mountain West. That makes no sense geographically. Neither does the Independence that we have available. I mean, I could have BYU, but they're not in the Dynasty. I kind of took BYU out. Conference USA is fine. Big Ten is fine. So is all of these are fine. I guess we're gonna have to live with like 7 in one conference, 7 in one side and 6 in the other. It's not that big of a deal, honestly, at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter as far as how teams are gonna get scheduled or anything like that. So we're gonna play it. We're gonna play it like this. We're gonna play teams like Boise, Air Force, Colorado State, New Mexico, Utah State, and Wyoming. All solid teams, mind you. Nevada's a good team. San Diego State's a good team. Fresno has some good years. I know UNLV has the opportunity to be good every now and then. So Boise, Air Force, and Utah State are going to be the tough ones. Wyoming's going to be a tough one every now and then too, I feel like, too. So we're going to move to the Mountain West and see how that goes for a couple seasons. And we'll go from there. So we're going to keep... We moved UMass to Independent because that's where they are now. The only reason I kept them there in the MAC is so I could have like the conferences balance out. But I'm not going to move UMass to the Mountain West. That's ridiculous. That's preposterous. So we're just gonna leave it as is there. All right. So now to the big parts here. The parts that we all come to enjoy and love. The recruiting board. Skip to recruiting. I wonder how this is going to turn out now because we're playing in a different conference. I wonder what kind of pipelines we're going to try and get here. I mean, we already have an access to Iowa. We have an access to, obviously Minnesota and Wisconsin, and all the other bordering states here. So we'll see. Per recruiting rules, I know you guys get like, oh, Sin, tired of the rules. Why don't you just recruit 5-star players? Then I'd be undefeated every year. I almost went undefeated last year with a scrub team. Then again, I played in the max, so we'll see how the Mountain West goes. So, by the rules again. We have to play by the rules, and that's the reason why we're doing this dynasty. We're gonna look in Canada, see what we got. Not much. Wisconsin has a couple of 1-star players. Okay, we'll go after this quarterback. He's 5'11", 195. Okay. Ugh, I don't know how I feel about that one, guys. Kind of reminds me of like a Doug Flutie. Is he a JUCO? Oh, he's a JUCO. Oh no, I'll pass. I'll just go after regular freshmen. JUCO, athlete. Ooh, fullback. We will go to North Dakota. Do they have anybody? No. They have a 3-star quarterback. Interesting. We'll go to Nebraska, see what they got. They got a corner. He can squat 220, bench press 205. Okay. Wide receiver, a possession receiver. Ooh, that's interesting. This could lead to something. Montana, what do they got? Nothing but 2-star players. They got a 4-star receiver. Wow, interesting. Missouri. Wow. Okay, this guy's gonna be a stud. That guy's gonna be a stud. This guy may be a bust, but we'll give him a shot. Scrambling quarterback, Brian Washington. Okay, we'll give him a shot. Well, now we're gonna take our talents up to Minnesota. JUCO, pass blocker. Okay, fuck, squat's 500 pounds, dude. Michigan has a bunch of talent. Let's go to Iowa real quick before I forget. Not Indiana, Iowa. Okay, come on. Iowa has a defensive end. We need some of those. Fullback. Probably could convert him to the tight end if I really wanted to. We need some running backs because we're kind of running deep on. We're kind of running thin on those. JUCO running back. I'll pass on that. Okay, now we can go to Indiana. Wow. Okay, 545. This guy's an animal. 300. As a wide receiver, he's squatting 300. Okay. He's a balanced. Okay, we'll take that. We'll take a look at that. 470 as a tackle. That's still pretty good. Another outside. He's. Oh my god, these guys are animals. Defensive tackle. Defensive end. Ooh, a corner. We could use one of those. Let's go take our talents back to Michigan. Our train. What do we need? We need fullback. Oh yeah, we're gonna need a fullback. We're gonna need some kickers too. Honestly, defensively we're gonna need a punter because both of them are. Other than that, I think we're fine for right now. We're gonna go after this punter here. A power punter. Oh, we got a kicker here too. Let's. Oh, he's a. We'll take it. 73 overall kicker. We'll take it. He'll have 3 seasons to play, so that's not bad. He's a sophomore, so it's all right. Middle linebacker, wide receiver, speed, JUCO. Possession receiver. Ooh, possession receivers light my eyes up like the 4th of July. 545, 595. These guys are animals. South Dakota. Did we look at South Dakota yet? I don't think we did. No, they don't have anybody. We looked at Canada already. We have 31 of the 35. Let's look at Wyoming. 62 overall kicker. Squats 305. We'll look at a couple kickers. We'll look at 2 of them. We're gonna have to look at another punter too. Chad Bryant. Squats 305, 330. This guy squats 325. Yeah, let's look at that guy from Fort Pierce, Florida. Man, that's looking hot right there. This is looking hot too. Let's go after this guy. I think that's our third kicker that we're going after. Actually, I'll look at the top 2 1-star guys here. I think these guys are going to be something special. So we need 2 more. Let's look at, do we have any strong safeties? 56, 55. He's from South Carolina. Yo, bitch. Not my. What? As soon as I'm done recording this video.
Okay, that would be perfect time. We're just driving home. He's got my computer, my script PC back to Best Buy, so that'll give us a moment to put shit off, and then we can put this all going in one car.
I can take us all in one car. If I want to stop at Play It Again too, since they have all that cool golf shit.
You want to stop at what?
That Play It Again store. That sporting goods store. Play It Again. That place. I mean. Yeah. That's why I'm not driving, or at least not yet anyway. That's why I didn't go to my parents today.
Yep, dude, check the weather. The snow's gone. It's not coming back.
Well, you say that.
No, like, we're getting up to I don't know what number's back, but we're getting into the 50s and we're not dipping below the 30s during the day at all.
Yeah. It'll come back at least one more time. It'll.
If April has a pretty cold spell, it's possible.
Yeah.
So wait, do you want us picking you up, or are you picking us up?
I can pick y'all up.
Oh, okay. You're saying it's why I wasn't driving. I'm like, thank you. But,
Yeah, I can come pick y'all up, and like I'm almost done recording the video, so
yeah. Because we're not drinking that meetups anyway, right? We're just gonna wait till.
I mean I'll have one, I think,
Oh, okay.
but it's not gonna kill me.
Well, it's like $6 meetups. That's the only problem. It's like $6 there, or I can just get a 6-pack.
Well, I have a 12. I have a pack of 12 at home right now.
Yeah, we bought a 6 and 3 big cans for Sarah. So, like, knowing us, we'll probably end up saying, "Hey, Sid, let's go buy some others."
I have a whole 12 pack of peanut butter flavored beer.
Oh yeah, that's right. You mentioned that the other day.
Yeah. All right. I will talk to you in a bit. Then I'm almost done, so I'll be over in a little bit.
Let's get enjoy the recording.
Yeah. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so strong safety. Ooh, this guy squats 335 and bench presses 335. This guy's a baller. This guy's bench pressing 425 and squats 270. Damn. Okay. I want to look at this guy too. For a guy who's 174, squatting 275 is a really accomplishable feat. Like, I'm looking at these and I'm like, dang, I could squat 275, and I could bench press about 300. Actually, I could squat like 400 almost, but I feel like legs are easier to do. Oh, that's a recruiting board. So let's take a look at who we got. Let's take a look at who we got. We got quite a few interesting prospects. I want to scout them all, of course. That's the whole reason why we're doing it. Sort them by overall. We got a 73. Sean Lemon. Ooh, he's a bust at 68 overall. Man, that is a bust. That's unfortunate too, because I was hoping I could get him up to like an 80, like I did with Marcus Schroeder. Fullback down to a 62. Oh man, that's not bad. That's not good either. I mean, he'll be nice. He'll be serviceable when he comes. Ooh. Ryan Jackson has more upside. Better kicking power. Has better speed. and accelerate. He has more upside. I have to go with Ryan Jackson. 64 punter, 62 punter. I mean, that doesn't really matter all that much. It just tells me who I'm going to go for eventually. Man, I'm just getting a bunch of busts this time around. That's not good. Oh, Brian Jordan, 62 overall. 60 overall, strong safety too. Okay. Okay, that's what I'm looking for. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, Antonio League, there you go. Oh my goodness, look at this. Look at this turn of events. Oh man. Oh man, look at that. Nice. Clarence Jackson. Isn't he the possession receiver? Yeah, he's the possession receiver. 80 speed. Not like we said that about Jacob Jackson too, so I'm not too worried about it. Possession receivers will always have nice hands. Granted, they're only at 58 right now, and I think he's probably better service as a running back according to his stats. But we're okay. So let's reorganize this list. Who's the best guy on ours that we're gonna go after? I don't want to go after Sean Lemon anymore, simply because, you know, he doesn't have the upside like Jackson does. Ryan Jackson can kick for power. That's all we can really do as far as this. We'll scout the other guys later and see what comes out of it. But as of right now, I'm not too impressed with. Well, we had some good players, some bad. I guess it's really how you really want to look at it. Redshirt some players. We do need to redshirt some players. We can't redshirt these five players though. That's not happening. So let's take a look, and we're gonna redshirt Justin Warren. Can we redshirt any wide receivers? You know, if Joel Davis isn't gonna play, we're gonna redshirt him. I feel like we could preserve him for 2 more seasons. James Lewis. I want to redshirt him because I want him to improve. We're going to play with 4 wide receivers this year. That's thin. That is really thin. Ugh, can't redshirt him. Can't. Redshirt. If you're on the bottom of the depth chart, you're getting redshirted. That's a fact. Redshirt. Boom, boom, boom. 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 Red shirt for you. You get a red shirt. You get a red shirt. Alright, so we redshirted all those guys. And now we got to go to the depth chart. Brett Brown, All-American. Obviously, he's starting. Aiden Cooper is going to be really nice next year, too. With his speed, at least. I don't know about his arm yet. I'm not sold on his arm. Manny Freeman starting running back. I'm sorry. That's how it's going to be. Scooter, Joe Cooper, and Dennis Schroeder are the fullbacks. If I have... Ooh, actually. Idea. Carol Dickerson at 5th string wide receiver. I'm okay with that. That sounds like a plan that can happen. Cooper and Schroeder are both 2nd and 3rd string tight ends, as obviously mentioned here. I like the offensive lineman setup. Defensive ends is fine. I mean, if we're talking about speed, we're splitting hairs between 69 and 53 speed. It's really, we're kind of splitting hairs at that one, so we're not going to worry about that. Well, wait, right outside linebacker. Why is Jeremy Ross? Jeremy Ross could probably play some linebacker this year. I'm down for that. I could see that happening. Or actually, Gary Gilmore. Barkley's got speed, though. He's only a senior. Jeremy Ross is a junior. Man, watch him wreak havoc on defense this year at middle linebacker. Our secondary is not the best. Jeremy Ross at third string at corner. That's fine. Not a starter, but still. Yeah, we're really good at safety right now. We're okay. Carol Dickerson at kickoff returner. I'm okay with that. He's got speed. Second stringer though, probably gonna go Tyrell Smith. Kickoff starter. Okay, so that's our depth chart for this year. So here is our schedule to start season 5. This is probably our, at least according to the strength of schedule, this is the toughest schedule we've had. Usually we were in like the C range or the C plus range, but now we're up to a B minus. We have Kentucky as our first game to start season 5. Kentucky. And then we have at Minnesota. They're number 24. Oklahoma State. At Oklahoma State. And then North Carolina. They're ranked number 20. So we have one top 10 matchup. Oklahoma State's a pretty good football team. Our conference schedule looks like this. We have San Jose State. At San Jose State. At home against Nevada. At San Diego State, and then we have a bye week here, and then we're at home against Colorado State, on the road against Air Force, at home against Hawaii, at home against New Mexico, and then on the road against UNLV. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 road games again this year, 6 and 6, as expected. So we have a really solid schedule actually. San Diego State, a really formidable powerhouse in the Mountain West. Nevada can be pretty good. I know UNLV and Air Force are going to give us a run. So will Colorado State. So, let's see how this goes. Honestly, I'm kind of intrigued on how well this season will do. We have a lot of interesting matchups, and I think that's important that we have those unique top 25 matchups too. Those are interesting. I like this. I love these matchups. That Kentucky game is going to be interesting. This Minnesota game is, I don't know how, we've beaten Minnesota 3 out of the 4 years already, so I'm okay with that. I mean, they're a finally ranked team to start the season too. That's nice. That's unique. It's cool. Oklahoma State. I don't think we faced Oklahoma State in any dynasty yet. Or at least I can't remember when we did. But I know we may have faced them in Arkansas State, but that's about it, I think. North Carolina, we faced them before a few times. They're interesting on paper as well. So that's our schedule to start this season. And season 5 is going to be the best, I feel like, yet. Let's see what we are to start season 5. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be so cool. And since we have a bye week, week 1, I'm going to play this one out as well for you guys on video. So, let's focus on some recruiting. We got 6,000 points this time around. And we're going to scout the rest of those players that we were looking at earlier. We're going to go to the not scouted ones. 51 overall, up to us. Wow, that is a jump. Holy cow. That's a jump. That's a good jump. Oh my god, he's going to be so good. Oh. Let's go. Look at that. 77 throw power. That's not even bad. Okay. Okay, I see you. I see you. That's a good jump too. Marcus Scott, look at that. That is sexy. Oh my lord. I'm hoping I can find a good running back to... Okay, that's solid. Okay, not good. Not good either. Anyway, wow, what a turnaround. Okay, we have something here. I think we're gonna kick him off the board because I feel like Jackson has more upside, and we're gonna give him a scholarship. We're gonna give Tommy Love a scholarship. We're gonna give Jonathan Henry a scholarship. Jimmy Fogel a scholarship. We got Brian Jordan now getting a scholarship. I'm not sure. I'm not sold on giving 2 punter scholarships, but we'll do it anyway because we need to. Anybody over in a 60 overall should get a scholarship, honestly. Curtis Mayo. Not sold on him. I'm gonna get a couple of other guys too, just because I want to get that extra security. So these guys at least are getting scholarships. These guys over 60 getting scholarships right away. As far as how many points they're gonna get, I think we go like 350 points each for right now. We'll be all right. Nope, don't want to go. I want to go 350. If we have the 2 kickers, then it's not a big deal. We don't lose anything by getting an extra kicker. You know, having 2 kickers on a squad isn't necessarily a bad thing inherently. 350. Brian Washington. He surprised me. He really did. That overall just... That was something. He has potential to be great here at Minnesota State. He really does. And I'm not saying that just to get him here. Because our quarterbacks, as you can already tell by the way Brett Brown has made himself a household name in this dynasty, you can already tell that quarterbacks already thrive in my system, and they kind of just do well. Can I give him a scholarship? Let's see what his potential's like. Oh yeah, I think he has a case to make. We'll give him 400 just because I don't want to fill up the extra 50 points, you know. So we'll see how this goes per week 1. And I feel comfortable with this. This isn't the best. Of course, none of my recruiting classes are the best, but we make the best of them. Preseason polls. What do they look like? Numbers 1 through 10 are Auburn, Georgia, TCU, LSU, Clemson, Oklahoma, Michigan State, NC State, Nebraska, and Oklahoma State. 11 through 20 is Virginia Tech, Miami, Iowa, Florida, Penn State, Ohio State, Oregon. I couldn't get Oregon on the schedule. That would have been nice too. I couldn't find them in the schedule, or at least, you know, one that I could work with. Kentucky, USC. I couldn't find USC either, but I played them like a couple seasons ago. That was our first top 25 win. North Carolina, 21 through 25 is Notre Dame, Cincinnati, Indiana, Minnesota, Virginia. And then we are ranked. Where are we ranked? UCF is 30th. They've kind of dropped off after their 4th year. Clemson or Alabama is at their overall is only a B+, which is weird. But they're 33rd. Washington State at 37th. We are at 40th in the Mountain West. So I will take 40th. That's not a problem at all. San Diego State's right on our tail though at 42. We are up to a 75 overall on offense, 71 defense, 72 overall. We didn't actually really improve all that much defensively because we lost a lot of guys. We lost some guys defensively, But we got an A in special teams. That's always good. We're right on pace for where we need to be offensively, at least, too. Iowa State at 46. Coastal Carolina at 49. Boise State at 52. I think that'll change. Even though we don't play Boise at all, so that could actually help them win the conference, maybe even. Any other teams? Utah's at 70 or 74. Even with an offense like that, that's crazy. Buffalo, we don't play them anymore. They're at 78. 80th is Old Dominion. Any other teams out here? Fresno State at 87. They have a pretty solid offense too at 84 overall. New Mexico, 86 overall offense. They're ranked 92. Colorado State's 83. They have a really solid defense. They could potentially surprise some teams this year in the Mountain West. They're 97th. Nevada at 100 at 84 overall. Wyoming at 83 overall. Scroll down the list a little bit more. A lot of the Sun Belt teams are kind of down here now, just dangling. Hawaii's at an 116 at 84 overall or 83 overall. Who is the worst team in college football? San Jose State. We played them later on this year, and I think week 6 at a 77 overall. Their defense is lackluster, to say the least. So, conference outlook. How are we looking in the Mountain West this year, guys? In our first year in the Mountain West, we are looking pretty strong. 72 overall. I think we have the weakest team overall-wise in the MAC, or not the MAC, the Mountain West. Yeah, we're the only team that's not even ranked in 80. So, that's saying something. In fact, I think San Jose State's the only other team in the 70s. So yes, definitely we have upgraded in conference prestige. The Mountain West is a little bit tougher, so we'll see how that goes as the season progresses. We do have a Heisman candidate quarterback that could possibly lead the charge. Brett Brown, obviously top of the Heisman list, considering the year he had last year. He could break 150 touchdown passes. He only needs 49 to do so, and he could just set the mark for a bunch of quarterbacks this year. I love where this team is going. I don't know how we're doing in championship contenders list. We're at a C-. We're still projected rank at 126. They're not expecting us to do very well this year. I mean, we could lose a few games. We don't know that for sure. The Mountain West, like I said, it's tougher. Preseason All-Americans. Obviously, I think Brett Brown's on that list at that quarterback. Harold Joyner's going to be back there in the Heisman race. He just won the Heisman last year. Jeff Jenkins, offensive lineman from Iowa. Roderick Riley was an All-American last year, I think. So was Vincent Bolden. And Robbie Hayden is as well on the All-Americans list. Any second teamers? Jacob Jackson, he could do it. So could Henry Dillon. He could do it too. They both could make first team. So could Jackson Lockwood. He was solid last year. Marcus Schroeder, I think he could make first team. Let's take a look at first team Mountain West. A lot of players. Manny Freeman, Jacob Jackson, Brett Brown, Henry Dillon. A lot of Boise guys as well. Roderick Riley, Jackson Lockwood, Vincent Bolden, Marcus Schroeder, Robbie Hayden. Joe Cooper could be on second team even as a second string tight end. That's saying something. When you're on the second team all Mountain West as a second string tight end, that's saying something. So we're gonna simulate week 1 just to get that out of the way and see where we are in recruiting. We're gonna take on Kentucky in the next video, guys. It's gonna be crazy. This is gonna be a crazy year for college football in the Minnesota State Mavericks Dynasty. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great. Okay, it's gonna be huge. I'm excited. I know that for sure. I'm excited. We have a good schedule. We have a fun, unique schedule. We have a new conference to play in that's a little bit tougher than last year's, than the MAC, which isn't really saying a whole lot. I still think that the MAC is probably one of the worst conferences in college football, but that is just me. I cannot wait to get this started, though. It's going to be awesome. I'm thrilled. I am thrilled. So let's see how we do, honestly. Still preparing all this stuff here, so transition. Kentucky moved up to 17. Okay, so while we finish up the rest of recruiting here, Kentucky moved up 1, so that's good. That gives us a better chance. Man, they really want to come. I want to recruit them so bad, but I got to play by the rules. I got to play fair. They got to go. I'm gonna get a couple more guys to come to look at this as well. I got to fill up my recruiting board, otherwise it's going to be a mess. Okay, we're catching up. We're catching up in a lot of places. We've even taken the lead on some of these too, so I am okay with that. We are all okay with that. Leads for everyone. We could use some corner help too, so I'm gonna give him a scholarship. We're easily gonna get all these guys too. It's gonna be crazy. So we'll go down 50 points here. We could go after this other corner too. Wait, 350. Okay. We need more corners, that's for sure. Also, let's take a look at some other guys too. So let's just make sure. Let's see if we can get some athletes. I don't think we've gotten an athlete in a couple. Okay, one-star athlete. That's a JUCO. That's an unfortunate situation. Middle linebacker. Tight ends. We haven't looked at tight ends lately. But then again, I think we're good there. We could use a couple wide receivers at least. Junior JUCO. JUCO speed. Sophomore possession. Not very good in the bench or the squad area, which is kind of that's not really that great. Justin West. Let's take a look at him. Man, not that impressive, but he's still, I guess, valid. This guy wasn't really all that great either. If we can get, we got the fullback. We got our fullback though, right? Jonathan Henry. Yeah, I think we're gonna get him. I think we'll get him. We jumped up a lot of points just to get him anyway, right? Yeah, we did. We jumped up a lot of points. Iowa State even gave him a scholarship, and he was like, "Nah, I want to go to MSU." I'm thinking MSU, man. Antonio Wright. He could be good. He could be solid. We'll see what he can do. And then Travis Joseph. Offensive tackle. Kind of needing more corners, though. I'm so thin in those positions. I need more of them. I'm pretty thin at running back too, I think. But then again, we have a bunch of like we have a bunch of guys who are still young and like still have a couple years of experience on them. So I'm not really like worried all that much about it. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this off-season video. It was a little bit longer than I would like to have ran it, but you know, obviously we got a lot of exciting things coming to season 5 of this dynasty. It's going to be awesome. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like, and if you're new to the channel at all, hit that subscribe button for season 5. Season 5. All right. So, until next time, my name is Sin with Vengeance. You guys have been amazing as always. Peace out.